Well, the Martians will be happy because Mars is on the move.
Mars on the move, that's right. Mars is leaving the sign of Aries and gone into the sign of Taurus. And wherever Mars goes is where you really want to put your ego into something, put your identity into it. It really, wherever it is, whatever area of your life it's in, it fires it up. It inspires you to get busy with whatever area it is. So I thought, good time to tell people where they can expect that energy to be. So for Pisces, the sign that we're in, the pace of their day-to-day living picks up to warp speed. They've got places to go, people to see, things to do, lots of short distance, short duration travel. This is not like going from here to China. This is like here to Ocala, here to Orlando, and it's kind of an out and back kind of thing for the next 4 or 5 weeks or so, to deal with either legal matters, educational matters, or learning something that can help you make more money. Not necessarily like a 4-year degree, but some kind of certificate kind of thing.
Gotcha.
For Aries, this is about money, it's about property, it's about real estate, it's about tangible, hard, lay your eyes on it kind of assets. Aries are really trying to make more money. And if they can make more money with their property, then so much the better. But it's going to be through the fruit of their labor that they increase the amount of money they take home. There's not money falling out of the sky on them. For Tauruses, Mars is in their sign for the first time in 2 years and 22 months. And it is a reawakening for them. The last, I think, 6 weeks have been rather difficult for Tauruses. They've had a lot of issues they've been trying to deal with, not have a whole lot of information to go on. So now with Mars in their sign, at least they know what the energy is and they can go ahead and start to project it outward into the world. And like Robert Conrad, they're going to go, ahead, knock that off my shoulder, give it a shot.
Woo, I got a couple of Tauruses in the
that
house
are going to be
ready to
fired
go.
up, which will be good for them. And also they need to think that, how can I start something new that's going to be much more ego gratifying for me? So when one thing ends, a lot of times it ends, it gives you a better opportunity for something new. For Geminis, I almost don't even want to come in here and say it. Mars is behind their sign. It's going to be behind their sign for 5 weeks. And that gives them the opportunity to find out who is betraying them, who's on their side, who isn't on their side. But unfortunately, when Mars is behind your sign, it's like fighting with one hand tied behind your back, which can be a very debilitating time. So they just need to kind of like hunker on down and put probably the middle of April on their calendar when it goes away, unfortunately, for Geminis everywhere. For Cancers, this energy is in the 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. And this is going to take a group effort to bring the Cancer what the Cancer says that they want and what the Cancer says that they need. And it's going to be the Cancer's well-placed female friends rather than male friends that help them achieve that long-standing hope, wish, goal, or objective. So whatever your objective is, go hard for it for the next 5 weeks or so. For Leos, this energy is in the 10th house of career and public standing. There are career things going on. And Leos, actually, over the last 2 years, have kind of developed the upper hand. I'm not so sure management is going to like that very much. So there's going to be some sort of a management trying to assert their authority, and Leo going, not having it because I'm really valuable to you. That kind of a thing. So to Leos everywhere, I say pick and choose your battles carefully and make sure that there's something more than just your ego at stake when you go into any kind of a fight. But it's a professional fight, and Leos are in a good position to win it.
Woohoo!
So for Virgos, this energy is in the 9th house of the law. Legal matters, educational matters, important matters at a distance. Virgos, if you're going to be traveling, make sure you get your passports updated because, I have to do that too, because it's long distance travel. This is not here to Ocala, this is here to China kind of thing. And legal matters, and the law is clearly on the Virgo side. And when the law's on your side, you want to use it. For Libras, this energy is going to cost them a bundle of money because Mars is in their 8th house. I know, Andrew's going to throw something at me. This energy is in their 8th house of other people's resources, and it's a matter of unanticipated expenses. It's one thing when you have planned maintenance, but this is unanticipated expenses. Water pumps go out, that kind of a thing. And they're like, well, if you're going to do your water pump, you may as well do your timing belt, while you're there too. That kind of a thing where one thing leads to another for about 4 weeks worth of how much money can I really spend. For Scorpios, this energy is in their 7th house of partners, intimate one-to-one relationships, and open enemies. And Scorpios are going to come out swinging. Unfortunately, I'm not so sure that they're going to, I don't think that they're fighting people that aren't going to swing back. I think that universe is going to push back rather hard on Scorpios. And so they need to be really sure what their objective is and not to fight blindly. And also, Scorpio, try not to create enemies out of what could be perfectly good allies. For Sagittarius, this energy is in the 6th house of work, health, and responsibilities. And Sagittarius just need to keep their heads down and just do their job to the best of their ability. Not try to do anybody else's job, not trying to change the work. Just do your job. And don't worry about other things around it. And if there's strife within your job, just keep your head down. And it should kind of roll over you without really impacting you. Because it's more of an environmental thing where you work, rather than the job that you do, and any kind of health matter deal with directly. For Capricorns, this energy is in the 5th house of love affairs, children, sports, amusements, pleasure. It's a great time to be a Capricorn. If you're single, you'll attract someone. If you're married, that goes well. If you want kids, this is a great time to do that. Anything fun, anything creative, anything athletic, all very, very good time for the Capricorn. And then for the last sign, for Aquarius, it's in their home and their foundations. And I think of all of the signs, they have the hardest time with this energy. Because whatever they fought for last summer between May and November, they thought, ooh, it's all done, comes back to rear its ugly heads. And it has an impact at home that they were not anticipating. So they have to be careful with that energy and don't blow up anything at home. Don't knock down load-bearing walls. Just try and find a way to make the changes that you need to change without disrupting everything, kind of a deal. So tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac, with Mars going into Taurus for the first time in 22 months.
Not bad news.
Not for you, not for me.
Yeah, we'll see you next week and do it again.
Always a pleasure.